Hi, this is Joseph Tan here from GoodMonday.com. What's the number one danger to relationships? It is anger. Anger, when expressed, could either be an obstacle or it could be an opportunity. Now, whether if it becomes an obstacle, an opportunity in your relationship depends on three mindsets that you need to have. When these three mindsets are in place in the right way, then the expression of anger is not an obstacle in your relationships, but an opportunity to grow it. Because whether you like it or not, anger do happen. But the mindset that you choose when anger happens is a leadership choice. Usually anger is triggered, and when our anger is triggered by the action or inaction of others, we tend to react. We may react by raising our voice, we may react by showing our displeasure, we may react sometimes by throwing things around. But what we need to do is that before we react, we learn to press the pause button. Now, some people say you need to count up to 10, but I'd like to show you something a little bit deeper. What are the three mindsets that you need to have when you feel that you are trigger happy? Mindset number one is a mindset of reflection. What do you reflect on? No, you do not reflect on your emotions of anger. You go deeper. You reflect on what are the standards that have been violated, that have triggered this flood of emotions. Is it my personal preferential standard? Is it a professional standard that has been violated? Or is it a standard based on certain principles? For example, if I am triggered with a flood of angry emotions because you did not choose my favorite color, well, the standards that are violated is a preferential standard. But if my feelings of anger is triggered because you did not do a good job, you did not rise up to the expectations of your responsibility, well, the standards that are violated could be professional or it could be a principle-based standard. Step number two is a more difficult one. You need to reject any selfish standards that you may have. Let's face it, we are creatures of comfort, we are creatures of convenience. If what you do disturb my comfort, I am back after a long day at work, and if the kids are up on me and not giving me the space that I need, well, I get angry. Well, because you have disturbed me in my comfort zone. So I may be angry, but I'm angry because you have encroached into my selfish space. So sometimes that emotions of trigger could appear to be professionally based or principle based, but if there's any ounce of selfishness within my response, then you need to reject it. Reject selfish standards and your personal ego if it is present. Most of the time it is, because if ego and selfish standards are present, your emotions of anger are clouded. The third mindset is to renew our perspective. Now, how do we renew our perspective? We renew our perspective by subscribing to a higher cause. In having a higher cause, we ask ourselves this question: what will bring good to our relationship? What is that greater good that we can strive towards? And if my anger brings me away from that greater good, from that greater perspective where our relationship will be improved in the process, then it becomes a response that we should reject. We should renew ourselves and the way we look at the other person when we press the pause button by asking ourselves, is there a higher cause that we can work towards? For example, if this person is late to work, now of course I'm angry, and I could reflect on it and say that, hey, this is a violation of professional standards. Then you might reject the other person and say that because you are late, you have missed the deadline, and because of that, I'm not able to do my work. I can't submit my report to the boss, and I look bad. Do you hear the word I being mentioned so many times? It becomes a selfish standard. Now, how do we renew our approach to a higher cause? The higher cause is this: I care for you as a growing employee. And together, if we do not work in a professional way, the greater good of the company and reputation will be at stake. Now, how can I help you to grow as an individual so that the reputation of the company will not be diluted? I care for you and I want to help you to grow and to overcome any unproductive habits that you have. This is the greater cause that was initially triggered by feelings of anger, but because you pressed the pause button and reminded yourself of the higher cause, the relationship is renewed. So, when feelings of anger are triggered by circumstances or by people, whether it becomes an obstacle or an opportunity depends on your commitment in pressing that pause button and to reflect on the standards, reject selfishness, and renew your approach to a higher perspective. And when that happens, anger would be a gain to your development as a leader rather than a pain in your relationships. Think about it. This is Joseph Tan here from goodmonday.com. If you're interested in my coaching services, be it virtual or face-to-face, check out the website goodmonday.com, and it also has a repository of leadership development programs which I offer. If you like this video, well, click subscribe, and then thanks for watching.